Considering its massive popularity, chances are that you have heard of this One Piece thing at some point. It was created by Eiichiro Oda in 1997, and it's still going strong in 2014, with over 600 episodes on the air and the weekly published manga showing no signs of ending anytime soon. As a story, One Piece is pretty crazy and quite long. Does not being a fan prevent this game from being enjoyable? Let's find out. Today's Gaming Capsule presents One Piece Unlimited World Red. This is the North American 3DS version of the game. The good news is that it does include a Club Nintendo card, so you can register it for points. The bad news is that this imposter, pretending to be an instruction booklet, is nothing more than legal information. Gone are the days where you could open a box and expect to see tons of beautiful printed artworks, story information, and fun details. The manual can be accessed digitally by going to the system's home menu, but it's kind of annoying to only have access to it that way. There is also a slip with a code for free downloadable costumes. Both the 3DS and WiiU versions of the game are beautiful. The HD versions are obviously better looking, with detailed cel-shaded characters and added ambience effects in the backgrounds, but truth be told, the 3DS version itself is actually quite impressive. Both of them feature very fluid animations for the characters, vibrant worlds, and awesome cutscenes that do an excellent job at recreating the look of the original source material. The story is fairly straightforward, but interesting enough to motivate the player to see it through to the end. Now, it does throw a lot of character names and terms at the player as soon as it starts, which is initially daunting, but everything should click and make sense eventually, even without any prior knowledge to the series. Like Kingdom Hearts, many worlds and characters from One Piece are revisited, so there's a lot of exposure to everything. In terms of how it plays, it's an interesting beat-em up, with some exploration aspects and RPG elements thrown in for good measure. You go out into the world in teams of 3, and can switch playable characters at any point. They all have their own specialties. For example, Usopp the Sniper can use long-range attacks and aim from a distance. Chopper can heal himself and teammates, while Nami can steal from enemies and use lightning magic. Each character can also equip words, which is the term that this game uses for skills and equipments. They alter your character's stats, remove weaknesses, speed up movement, give elemental properties to attacks, offer support to party members, and much more. You get these words by completing quests and equip them on available empty slots in your character. Words themselves can be leveled up and powered up by visiting the town's poet. This system is very nice and offers a lot of customization options for your characters. While the game does feel like a beat 'em up, most of the enemies can actually be skipped. Unlimited World focuses more on exploration, item collecting, and bosses. The bosses are the main highlight of the battle system. You will fight huge monsters and superpowered enemies that dish out devastating yet beautiful looking attacks. Unlike regular enemies, making good use of the counter system and support skills is a must to tackle some of the trickier ones. It's worth noting that the music is excellent and dynamically changes when fighting or exploring. In between chapters, there is a hub world called Transtown, which is another fun highlight from the game, and it's actually where everything comes together. From here, you can go to the local bar to select quests that you can tackle solo or with friends locally to gain more gold, items, and unlockables. There are also multiple minigames such as catching balloons, walking blindfolded, or selecting the correct faces of cards before a timer runs out. The most engaging part of Transtown is the ability to expand it. Much like the headquarters of the Assassin's Creed games, you can help out by using money and items to build shops, research factories, and other facilities that will give you access to new items, more minigames, or skill upgrades. Outside of the main story mode, there is also a Coliseum mode, which is a separate beast in itself, with its own cutscenes and goals. It offers one-on-one battles, as well as fights against mobs of enemies as you try to go up the ranking ladder, challenge the awesomely named Don Quixote Don Flamingo. It's a rather fun and surprisingly fleshed out diversion from the main quest. Completing battles unlocks items to carry over to story mode, characters and bosses to play as, and more quests to be able to tackle alone or with friends. The 3DS version of the game offers no 3D whatsoever, and the camera controls being on the touchscreen? Not very easy to use, nor very useful. The console releases offer split-screen multiplayer only, and the game map is only visible by pausing the game. While this is understandable on the PS3, the Wii U could have made use of the gamepad screen to at least show us the map. No matter what version of the game you play, the camera does take some getting used to, and you'll find yourself having to reset the camera's orientation very often. The North American release does not have any selectable English dub, but the entire story and most of the in-game dialogue is subtitled. The Wii U and 3DS versions can connect to each other, so if you have both, you can play the adventure on a big screen TV, send the save file over to your 3DS, and carry it around wherever you go. Downloadable content will not carry over this way, which is kind of annoying. I guess you have to rebuy all the DLC on every version. For Sony platforms, the same feature is available between Vita and PS3 versions. To be honest, none of those issues actually ruin the experience. If you can only choose one version of the game, I would say to go for the 3DS version for the simple convenience of the bottom screen map. It makes advancing through the game and finding items much more comfortable. It's also portable, meaning that you can grind away for items while going out on your own pirate adventure. Otherwise, the other versions all look much better. The PS3 version has a retail release in North America, while the Wii U version is digital only. Boo. There is downloadable content as well. It's only missions using the same stages from the game and extra costumes for the characters. On Nintendo platforms, it will be good for some of you to know that you can get Nintendo coins for buying them. So there's that. One Piece Unlimited World Red. Despite being a licensed game based on an anime, it's actually quite good and easily recommendable to anyone who likes its colorful, vibrant look.